When a fighter has a clear edge in speed, reflexes, and pure boxing skill, and refuses to take reckless risks, he becomes incredibly difficult to defeat. That's the essence of elite boxing, hit without getting hit. And right now, few fighters execute that philosophy better than Shakur Stevenson. True boxing isn't about excessive holding or running down the clock. It's about controlling distance, standing in punching range, firing accurately, and using your legs only when necessary. Stevenson does exactly that. He doesn't rely on clinching. He doesn't smother his own work. He boxes every single second. Some fans complain when a master technician dominates without drama. They say it's boring because there's no chaos. But what they're actually witnessing is total control. When a pure boxer performs at that level, eliminating suspense through skill alone, that's not boring, that's artistry. That's a masterpiece you hang in the Louvre. With that style, it doesn't matter who stands across from him, he gives anyone problems. Max Kellerman described a potential Devin Haney vs Shakur Stevenson matchup as a high-level chess match rather than an all-out war. Haney brings discipline, a sharp jab, and strong ring generalship. He controls space well and understands positioning. But Stevenson counters that with elite defensive instincts, impeccable timing, and surgical counterpunching accuracy. There's a key difference critics point out. Haney has boxed beautifully at times, but in certain fights, once ahead, he leaned on movement and clinching to protect the lead. Stevenson, on the other hand, boxes continuously. He doesn't shut down offensively. He maintains engagement without sacrificing defense. That's the distinction. Boxing is about standing in range, throwing punches, and making your opponent miss. And Stevenson may currently be the best in the sport at that formula. When ranking fighters within a division, resume matters, who you beat, when you beat them, and under what circumstances. But pound for pound is different. P4P reflects who you believe is the most skilled fighter in the world, regardless of weight class. It requires evidence, but it also includes observation. And after Stevenson's dominant win over Teofimo Lopez, many analysts argue it's reasonable to call him the best pure boxer in the sport. Some still give Alexander Usyk the edge due to his heavyweight achievements. Others believe Stevenson's technical brilliance rivals anyone in boxing today. Becoming the face of boxing is another conversation entirely, that requires consistency, star power, and repeated elite wins. But skill for skill? Stevenson is in that discussion. Stevenson's performance against Teofimo Lopez didn't just add another belt to his collection, it elevated his status. He controlled distance, neutralized aggression, and dictated tempo from the opening bell. The result wasn't competitive. It was clinical. Observers described it as a Floyd Mayweather-type performance, calm, sharp, and composed. He stood his ground, worked behind the jab, countered precisely, and never allowed Lopez to establish rhythm. Statistically, Stevenson landed more total punches, more jabs, and more effective power shots. Judges had it wide, essentially 11 rounds to 1. Lopez tried adjustments. Nothing worked. That's the sign of a fighter with an elite boxing mind. Stevenson has also addressed the issue of lighting naturally bigger opponents. He's open to moving up, but with conditions. Without rehydration clauses, fighters can enter the ring 20 to 30 pounds heavier than the contracted weight. That's not skill, that's size advantage. If he moves up, he wants fairness. Because there's a difference between competing at a higher weight and wrestling a much larger man on fight night. The legacy debate adds another layer. Haney became undisputed and has faced elite names like Lomachenko and Kambosos. Stevenson is a multi-division world champion, a lineal champion, and now holds dominant wins at multiple weights. Each has a strong case. Financial negotiations reportedly stalled a potential fight between them, with disagreements over purse splits. Haney claims he offered a significant opportunity. Stevenson's side suggests business decisions must make sense long-term. That's modern boxing, talent meets negotiation. What would decide the fight? Sean Porter describes the matchup perfectly, it's fast chess. Both men are quick, intuitive, and precise. Neither relies on brute power. The fight would likely hinge on who sets traps faster, who adjusts mid-round quicker, who capitalizes first on small openings. Momentum could shift constantly. Every feint would matter. Every half-step would count. It wouldn't be about who throws more, it would be about who thinks faster. Expert praise. Andre Ward described Stevenson as a blank canvas, a fighter capable of shaping his style in real time. That's rare. His footwork, distance control, and tactical awareness separate him from most of his generation. Against Lopez, he dictated range so effectively that sustained offense became impossible. Even critics who previously questioned his engagement admitted, this version of Stevenson stood his ground and boxed beautifully. The bigger picture. Max Kellerman even suggested Stevenson's pure boxing ability rivals Usyk's, though Usyk's accomplishments at heavyweight carry historic weight. The key difference? Usyk conquered bigger men. Stevenson dissects opponents with surgical precision. Two different kinds of greatness. So now the question becomes, would Haney's jab and ring control be enough? Or would Stevenson's defense, angles, and counterpunching gradually take over? If this fight happens at 135 or 140, it won't be chaos. It will be calculated. Tactical. Elite. A fast chess match at the highest level of boxing.